With this setup, we can beat any mini-bosses like Veritania. We can beat Cyrus. It can take out Maven. Struggles a bit on Uber bosses, I won't lie. But we can take out regular Maven, as you can see. We can take out Uber Elder, the original Uber Elder. This game could do all what I call, main game and then end game content. We can beat Uber at Zeri because we have no... we cannot take physical or elemental reflect. I have this Maze of the Minotaur that I randomly alked and then vaaled into this crazy set of mods. It was perfect because then I wanted to add a Delirium, Eater of the World's influence, Einhar influence, a little bit of extra quant, and Metamorph. So we're going to go ahead and run all this stacked together. I'm just going to let the footage play. I want to have extended footage here to show, how it would feel in real world. I don't want to have it edited, what it would be like. This build excels at mob clear and can beat most endgame bosses, as I say. Very soon I'm going to show the changes. I'll post POB, of course, but I'm going to show the major changes from my last post about the Stormbrand Elementalist. The Stormbrand Elementalist, 100% shock and stacks damage from shock. Low life, of course. 7 auras. Has a new aura, Aspect of the Avian. Gives us an alternating chance for double damage and faster movement speed. Because my wand does not have double damage on it, I went balls deep on spell damage. It's a great way to get your double damage. I keep mentioning the Uber endgame bosses. I'll just want to say Uber, Searing Shark, Uber, Eater of Worlds, Uber Elder, Uber Maven. I haven't tried a lot of them, but I did try multiple times on the Uber Searing Shark, and you just have to have a very specific setup where you get like 90% fire reduction to really, or just have huge amounts of armor. This build is not capped on armor. It has like 13%. But as you can see, we're inside a Delirium. We've been running Eater of the World's influence, killing some red beasts. I think, or beasts. I think the red beast might be coming up soon. And at the end I'm going to fight the Minotaur with all these mods, including Enfeeble, by the way, which weakens us. Weakens our damage output. Here's the red beast. You feel very comfortable because if you don't run, like I say, the Uber bosses, you're going to be very tanky. It has a beautiful setup in regards to energy shield. It has some leech. It has faster start of energy shield recharge, big time, and then just faster recharge rate. See, took down the red beast. Still inside the Delirium. Delirium ended. Okay, jumping ahead to the Minotaur himself. So the way the brand builds work is you cast your brands rapidly. Because I have a small change where the brands expire very fast, which I'm going to show shortly, you have to cast very frequently. Cast brands all the time, but then you pull them forward with brand recall, which you'll see is set to our W. I use Frostblink because it allows us to gain Arcane Surge. Dash would not allow such a thing. Deathless Minotaur, look at the mods though, that's the beautiful thing. You don't have to worry about what maps you run. I'm going to run the Metamorph, but cannot regenerate life mana or energy shield is a nuisance for nearly every build, including this one, but again, you don't have to worry about reflect, which is why Uber Theory is not a problem on this build. Now I was foolish, very shortly here, I ran into the muck with all these mods on top of the Minotaured Metamorph, and that was my mistake. I think I got burrowed, and so I got myself killed. On hardcore, of course, you would want to play significantly more careful, but is this build hardcore viable? I would say yes, if you're careful. And see, came back in and beat the Metamorph. Okay. The main change here, these are the main support gems. I'm using Swift Brand support, which lowers quality of life a little bit. The brands expire faster, but activate so much faster. And then I went ahead and got cast when damage taken Steel Skin passively, because prior I was using a Blasphemy support with Conductivity. I changed this ring in order to get Conductivity on hit, as well as the Aspect of the Avian. And because we don't have Blasphemy, we put that right on. Based on the development manifesto, patch 3.19 is going to have 2 nerfs and 1 buff to this build. The first nerf is spell suppression. Some nodes are going up, Instinct for example, to 12% from 10%. However, we're losing buff effects from spell suppression on our boots right here. Instead of 21%, it's going to cap at 14%. So all in all, this build's going to lose 5% chance to spell suppress. It'll still be above 60%. I think that'll be fine. Also, mana reservation changes. The community as a whole is losing this here, 15% mana reservation efficiency. However, this build is not taking this, so it does not affect it. This build takes this, and instead of 15, it's going to be 10%. So we're losing 5% effective auras from our skills on us, which is like the energy shield from discipline and so on. Wrath, zealotry. It's going to take a little bit of damage out, but still going to be viable. The last thing here as far as nerfs is right here, reservation mastery. 30% is going to 20%. This actually is a problem because we only have 6% of our life. By going down to 20%, we don't have enough life to utilize the 3 setup. Right here, Prism Guardian gives us the 30% increase reservation efficiency. However, because of the 30 to 20% change, we cannot take, as it stands, Haste, Zealotry, and Wrath. However, Jonathan Rogers and Chris Wilson hate this one simple trick. Instead of Wrath, we're going to use Divergent Wrath. 4% mana reservation efficiency. Trust me when I say I did all the math behind it. And this 4% is going to mean this won't be 6 to 7%. See, it was 6%. It's going to instead be 0.9%. We're going to have 0.9% of our life left because our reserved mana will go up to 99.1%. Meaning we can still run all 3 of these in the shield. We don't have to change that. We just have to use a Divergent Wrath. Now, speaking of buffs, the only buff to this build, which is going to be nice, is Haste. Instead of 9% movement speed, we're going to go up to 14%. And instead of 17% increased cast speed, we're going to cap up at, I believe, 23 to 24%. It's going to increase our cast speed and our movement speed. And if this is Vaal Haste, if we go with a Vaal Haste instead, it's going to be really nice because we're going to be able to activate a huge amount of cast and movement speed, which is going to feel super comfy. So these are the changes we need to make. Vaal Haste instead of Haste. Divergent Wrath. Still take this. Still take this. Otherwise, no real changes needed.